The scene unfolding on a quiet London street was as calculated as it was chilling, a masterclass in royal optics that most passers-by likely missed entirely. A heavy, monogrammed suitcase was being hoisted into the back of a standard London taxi, the kind of mundane activity that usually fades into the city's background noise. But this wasn't just any traveler, and these weren't just any bags. With police officers standing guard and a royal footman watching from the periphery, the atmosphere was thick with a tension that no official source is willing to explain. The most unsettling detail isn't the luggage itself, but the void of information surrounding it. Not a single palace spokesperson will confirm where Princess Beatrice is heading. In the high-stakes world of royal signaling, this wasn't merely a trip, it was a message. While her sister Eugenie was being spotted under the Mediterranean sun in Sicily, and their mother remained tucked away in a remote alpine sanctuary, Beatrice was moving through the shadows of the capital. She wasn't photographed arriving at her destination. She was documented leaving, a choice that feels increasingly like a rescue mission. Every bag loaded into that cab was a tactical decision, and every glance toward the horizon was choreographed for maximum impact. Once you begin to understand the invisible emotional load she was carrying alongside those monogram trunks, you realize this was the start of a massive shift in the royal geography, a shift the palace is desperate to keep under wraps. The visibility of this departure was, perhaps, the first mistake, or maybe it was the entire point of the exercise. You simply do not load 3 pieces of unmistakably personalized, high-end luggage into a street-level taxi with uniformed officers present and accidentally get caught by the cameras. In the world of high-level PR, this was a controlled release of information, a loud and public exit designed to look like a fleeting private moment. But the timing raises questions that demand answers. While the world's attention was diverted to a high-society wedding in Sicily, Beatrice was standing on a London pavement in a sharp black blazer, looking less like a princess on holiday and more like a woman preparing for a long-distance battle. Reports from those within the inner circle suggest this wasn't about a seasonal getaway, it was about an exit strategy. The suitcase itself, identifiable at a single glance, acted as a heavy punctuation mark at the end of a very long, very difficult chapter for her family. Insiders insist that the timing here is everything. Within the same 7-day window, the 3 most scrutinized figures in this specific royal orbit were suddenly, quietly, and simultaneously in motion. It was a coordinated shift that nobody was supposed to track, a shell game played with human lives and reputations. And yet there she was, refusing to issue a statement or post a curated photo to signal her resilience. She simply moved, leaving the London traffic behind as the taxi door closed on a life that is rapidly becoming unrecognizable. As that vehicle pulled away, a chilling realization began to surface among those who have studied this family for decades. Beatrice wasn't just leaving a house. She was physically and metaphorically distancing herself from a fallout that is only just beginning to breach the surface. Rumors indicate that her phone had been lighting up for hours, with frantic, high-frequency messages originating from a specific first-floor chalet in Austria. What she was heading toward would likely make the chaos of the London press look like a walk in the park. While Beatrice was navigating the streets of the capital, her mother, Sarah Ferguson, was reportedly trapped in a sanctuary that had suddenly, and quite violently, become a golden cage. The Duchess of York has been hiding in a 14,000-pound-a-week alpine retreat, a place originally designed for wellness and luxury that has transformed into a makeshift center for crisis management. According to those with knowledge of the situation, she barely leaves her suite, avoiding the very balconies and hiking trails she once praised in glossy promotional videos. She is allegedly living in a state of constant fear, and the reason is as heavy as the luggage Beatrice packed. This sanctuary was officially compromised just days ago when the first photos of her in 7 months hit the international press, shattering the illusion of her privacy. The former Duchess is now said to be desperately phoning her remaining wealthy contacts, looking for the next place to disappear before the walls close in completely. Reports suggest she is currently navigating a state of total denial, ordering room service and refusing to face a reality where her titles, her residence, and her standing have effectively vanished into the thin mountain air. But there is a darker detail that keeps the York sisters up at night, far beyond the loss of social status. It is believed that Ferguson is not just hiding from the long lenses of the paparazzi. She's reportedly dreading the prospect of an international summons following the arrest of her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, in February. Sources close to the family say both Beatrice and Eugenie are in constant, exhausting contact with her, increasingly concerned about a mental health spiral that seems to be accelerating in the isolation of the Alps. It is a weight they carry silently, while the rest of the world watches the grand carriage processions and royal pageantry. The pressure is mounting to a breaking point, and the bills are allegedly piling up on credit cards that have already reached their absolute limits. The sisters have been pleading with their mother to make a change, to rein in the spending and face the music, but she is reportedly refusing to acknowledge the gravity of the situation. She feels abandoned by the institution she served for decades, left to face a mounting storm with nothing but the kindness of a few loyal friends to keep her afloat. If Beatrice is indeed heading toward the Alps, she isn't going for the skiing or the fresh air. She's heading into the heart of a family collapse that is being managed one frantic phone call at a time. But as one sister prepares for a rescue, the other is making a move that could signal the ultimate betrayal, or at least the ultimate survival tactic. The most telling detail of this entire saga isn't actually where Beatrice is going, it's where she refuses to set foot. According to sources, neither sister has visited their father since his arrest in February, creating a firm geographic and emotional wall between themselves and the man once known as the Duke of York. While Andrew sits in his new, modest farmhouse at Sandringham, tucked away behind a light blue door that matches the nearby staff quarters, his daughters are performing what can only be described as a surgical separation. This cold, public distancing is believed by many to be a mandate from the king himself, a condition of their own continued inclusion in the family's future. Rumors indicate that the relationship between Eugenie and her father has completely shattered, possibly beyond repair. As a co-founder of a charity fighting the very types of issues her father is allegedly linked to, Eugenie is reportedly livid and has cut off all direct contact. Beatrice, on the other hand, is claimed to be emotionally broken, attempting to toe an impossible line between deep-seated family loyalty and the cold necessity of saving her own reputation. Even for Beatrice, the line has finally been drawn at the Sandringham estate gates. Since Andrew was moved to Marsh Farm, a property often described as prison-esque in its isolation, he has become a ghost within the royal family. He is a man who was once the Queen's favorite son, now reportedly left to navigate his complex legal battles with nothing but the local pheasants for company. But one should not mistake this silence for a total exit from the board. Insiders say that while the sisters are staying far away from the toxic atmosphere of their father's exile, they are being watched more closely than ever by the palace. Every move they make, every suitcase they pack, and every flight they board is being weighed against their future standing in the monarchy. The fact that they haven't been seen at Marsh Farm isn't just a matter of personal hurt. It's a strategic calculation for survival in a regime that has no room for the scandals of the past. While one door has been bolted shut in the freezing landscape of Norfolk, another is slowly, quietly being left ajar for the sisters, provided they continue to play the game by the new rules. Sarah Ferguson's discovery in her Alpine bolt hole has proven one thing: you cannot outrun a total institutional erasure. She has officially been informed that she will never again appear on the palace balcony, a final, cold verdict delivered without any of the ceremony she once enjoyed. It is a move that effectively excises her from the visual history of the monarchy moving forward. As the door slams shut in London, the walls are also closing in on her sanctuary in Austria. Rumors indicate that her location was leaked to the global press just as her financial situation reached a catastrophic breaking point. One insider stated she is desperately short of cash and relying entirely on the grace of friends to stay in her suite. The timing of this collapse feels almost too calculated to be a coincidence. The king has reportedly refused her pleas for a face-to-face meeting, choosing instead to maintain a royal silence that is louder and more damaging than any public statement could ever be. It is believed that the palace is even moving to strip her of any remaining local honors, including her freedom of the city of York, following the precedent set by her ex-husband. She is a woman who reportedly feels abandoned and unfairly treated, trapped in a first-floor luxury suite, while her legacy is dismantled in real time by the very family she fought to stay a part of. Yet even in the middle of this Alpine exile and the legal shadows surrounding Sandringham, a new piece of news has complicated the entire chessboard. Sources say a sudden and joyous announcement regarding a third pregnancy for Princess Eugenie has sent shockwaves through the family. On the surface, it is a moment of light in a very dark year, a reason for the family to potentially unite. However, it also creates a fresh set of problems for the York sisters. While one sister prepares for the arrival of a new life and the responsibilities of motherhood, the other is still standing on a London pavement with 3 bags and a secret destination. The family geography is being redrawn by birth, by exile, and by legal necessity. The suitcase in the back of that taxi is finally headed toward its true purpose, whether that is a secret meeting to stabilize their mother or a final move to clear out the remnants of a life that no longer exists. We are left watching the departure without knowing the final destination, left to wonder if Beatrice is the one who will eventually bridge the gap between the king and her parents, or if she is simply the last one out, turning off the lights on the York legacy. The monogrammed suitcase isn't just luggage, it's a punctuation mark on an era that is ending in a fractured, silent reality.